Welcome to the Lodge. You've accessed
The Lodgecast experience.
Warning, warning, dangerous spoilers ahead. Enjoy.
Welcome to another hot take.
Hot takes!
Hot take. We are back and we are on fire tonight.
Hot.
We got a movie. We got like several movies rolled into one movie to talk about tonight. It is called The Avengers Infinity War. Infinity War. Long movie, long runtime.
But not the Avengers Infinity War Part 1 or Chapter 1, but just Infinity War. As if you're going to see...
As if you're going to see the whole thing.
The whole war from start to finish.
And it's going to be the end of a cycle here. But they didn't tell you.
I was also informed by Brother Justin very briefly before the film started that this was not the final chapter in whatever this grand Marvel tapestry is. He's like, nope, there's another one next year. So I'm like, okay, well, yeah, I thought this was going to be it.
I feel the same way. I must concur. Had I known the same thing, I probably would not have gone to this movie. However, I was led to believe that this was the final Avengers film, and so that's what really got me out of my seat.
So what? Okay, everybody should have seen this by now.
Yeah.
If you haven't and you care at all, don't listen to this because we're gonna spoil everything.
Yep.
But what were your guys' feelings going in? To me, that's one of the crucial items of this.
Well, I see about half the Marvel movies because there's just so many.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy maybe half the ones I see. The ones I enjoy are usually the ones on the individual characters that keep it relatively.
What do you skip?
Contained. I don't skip the big ones. So I like the original Avengers.
Okay.
Age of Ultron did not like.
Okay.
Civil War did not like. So this one.
Oh, okay.
Because I was just like they just.
Too big.
Pile on.
They're too big.
I just can't.
Too many toppings on the pizza makes it go soggy.
And this one I was not looking forward to. So going in, I was not looking forward to it.
Okay.
I was a little better.
Do you see all of these?
No, I'm with Bishki. I see probably half. I think the last one I saw was Thor Ragnarok because of Movie Pass, and then prior to that, it was Guardians 2, which I did not like at all. But I think I went in with tempered expectations because I knew what I was getting, and I wasn't expecting too much. Mm-hmm. But I had higher hopes than normal in Marvel movies past, only because I felt like I said, it was going to be a final installment, and that there would be some character deaths to anticipate, at least a couple.
So you knew there were going to be some deaths going on.
Well, I figured there had to have been, just because...
You guys read some spoilers.
I just scrolled through some spoilers.
I saw some headlines.
I think I saw a headline about Chris Evans saying he's done after this, or the Russo brothers are done after this.
You can tell by the way that Chris Evans is done while you watch this movie.
I thought, okay, we'll have a movie with real stakes finally.
Okay. I think I've seen every one of these movies. I don't know how. And
each Iron Man?
I've seen everything.
Okay.
And I don't really care. So that shows me how deep the money making machine is for completists out there.
Shit.
Like if I don't really care and I've seen 18, 19 fucking movies, what about people who do care? So
does that include the Netflix TV series?
No.
Okay.
I
just
like
the,
that.
Just
I
the
theatrical.
Just the theatrical.
The canon of movies since 2008, since Iron Man.
Got it. Just the movies. So I went in with heavy fatigue. And now it's like, oh, we're gonna milk this cow even harder for 3 hours. I mainly just went because Brother Justin was very insistent that this is the last movie that will ever be made that will mean anything to anybody on a large scale. So I wanted to be near his pheromones during that experience.
That's good. I mean, that's a good person to have, because it keeps you focused and incentivized. And open-minded. I went with my BFF Luke, who loves the Marvel movies, has seen everyone, knows the mythology and histories. He can kind of give me the backstory and context.
The question is, did you look over at him and did he have tinted fingers while he watched, like Mr. Burns? Was it that? Is he that into it?
No, he's not that into it. But I'm gonna save something for the end of the podcast. But he and I got into an argument about something after the movie, which I'll table. But it hurt me. There's tension between us. But anyway.
Okay. So I'll just kick it off. I was pleasantly surprised. I went in with my arms crossed. I laughed a lot. I had a lot of fun. I thought the special effects, for the most part, were great. I was very nervous initially. I had Star Wars Episode 1 flashbacks because we're on a spaceship where we tilt up on this character and it's like a fish guy with a weird accent, like extolling exposition.
Yeah, there was some Star Wars in there.
I was like, oh shit, no, why? Oh no, what's going on here? But I don't know, the writing, the writing's just so snappy and it's so just polished that I just gave myself to it and I enjoyed the ride. It felt like a roller coaster that was on solid tracks that I could just turn my shit off and let it wash over me.
Yeah, I thought for 20 main characters, they did a pretty good job of knitting it together. I mean, the core is getting those Infinity Stones, so that ties every little...
And they make it so clear at every turn. They're like, it's very video game-like. It's like reminding you what your mission is. We have 2 of the 6 stones. We need 4 more stones. The Infinity Stones do this. And then in the next scene, it's like, we have half of the stones.
Yeah.
We need 3 more.
Yeah, so it's very clear. Because a lot of times the objective's not exactly clear.
And that's the only thing you need to keep track of.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Yes. And so I thought it was off to a good start. Eventually, the punching battles and the Marvel machine kind of kicked in for me, and I started to get a little bored.
Right.
But that was more about by the mid movie, and I mean I'm not going to go into.
Yeah, I gotta follow up with that. Like I concur with Bishki in that. I enjoyed it. It was like pleasant, for so long. But then after a while, the Marvel fatigue does kick in because it literally opens with like essentially a climax,
Right.
and then it gives you like a little tiny exposition scene, and it kind of like goes back and forth, which is great because it's good pacing. But at the same time, because the scale is so large, it's just like, okay, well, this war is going to be like epic because like I've already seen some pretty epic, set pieces. But yeah, I was never lost or confused by the plot, and I thought it was streamlined. And I thought, Josh Brolin did a fabulous job with the mocap.
I thought he was the high point.
Yeah,
I had definite flashbacks to the feelings I got when I saw Gollum for the first time, and I'm like, oh, computer generated performance. There's something to it. Like, now we can care, Yeah. And there's something about Josh Brolin's eyes in this. They're so expressive. You're like, you get it, and it works.
The technology's catching up. It's still an uncanny valley, but I felt like, like you're right. The effects all kind of were seamless and blended together.
I mean, the longer you watch it, the more you get used to them, and the more you just accept it. I mean, if you just look at a random clip out of context of him, you'll just be like, that's a goofy cartoon still. But, everything about the movie is a goofy cartoon. So
yeah, I kind of was interesting. I thought this movie was a lot like Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah,
which
I feel like, especially after the ending, they're obviously going for it. They're like, we want to hit people
but here's what's interesting.
Make them say it's dark.
But here's what's interesting, though. My problem with the Avengers ending is that while it is, that kind of like Empire downbeat, like woof, low point, it doesn't really pay off as dramatically for me compared to Empire, because the most dramatic thing I think in the movie is when Gamora gets sacrificed by her father. However, it doesn't work because Peter Quill doesn't witness it. You know what I mean? So it's kind of
that was really weird.
So yeah, I was kind of like, oh, this would be so much more dramatic if we just had that reaction of him.
They really botched
but
that
they already
part.
they already kind of shot their wad earlier where he tried to kill her, and I'm thinking oh man, they have the right ingredients, but they're cooking and serving them wrong. Because you go back to Empire, when Empire ends, you're not like, wait, there's no climax? You end, you go, wow, your mind is blown.
It's more of a bittersweet kind of.
But with the Avengers, it ends, and I'm thinking, wait a second, we've been here for 2.5 hours. There can't be another fight scene. And so when it ended on Brolin or on Thanos, I was like, of course. But then I was like, I kind of feel a little cheated.
It's
because
clear that it's half of a movie.
I wanted a war. I wanted a victor. I wanted the war to start an hour in, and I wanted the next 90 minutes to be them fucking
Well, next year, that's what you get, motherfucker.
Well, I thought by the end, I didn't think I was going to have any feel.
You caught feeling? You trying to tell us you caught feeling?
I got a feeling for Tony Stark. I thought he was going to die.
I caught a feeling for Spider-Man when he did.
And when Peter Parker fades away in Tony Stark's arms, Like that was like some dark, you know.
But that was also a cheat because everyone else like evaporated into ash much quicker than Peter Parker. So I was like, wait, now he's like he's like fading slower than the other people.
I'll name the other
like
T'Challa. You don't care how fast she evaporates. Maximoff, Wilson, Mantis, Drax, Quill,
Hey, Drax is a high point.
Yeah, he has the big laugh.
Which one's Drax? He's
the big guy.
And
he's got
Batista.
He had the biggest laughs for me.
Yeah,
like
Batista was the one I laughed at.
He had the biggest laughs for sure.
Yeah,
but you know, I just feel like, you know, I understand like movies and franchises like going back to Empire Strikes Back. Like, yeah, they're setting it up for the next movie. Yeah, I get it. That's the nature of the beast. However, the goal, what separates the amateurs from the pros, is setting it up in such a way where the audience doesn't feel like it's a setup. Whereas in the Marvel Universe, it's so fucking apparent and belabored and like exact. Like it's just like, yeah, so had they put part 1 and part of the subtitle of this, I would have loved it much more. Right. But had I gone in there thinking like this is the final, I was kind of like throwing my hands up.
You should be allowed to expect a complete movie.
And was like, what? Like, come on. Like, this is
But this movie's not going to be the highest grossing of all time if they don't... Right. If they put part 1 on the title. Right.
I thought that all the heroes' writing was pretty great overall. The only people I didn't care to check in with were Vision and Elizabeth Olsen. Like when we cut to them, walking through Scotland. I was just like, what are we doing with these like lame ass yuppies? Like
it felt like 50 Shades of Grey or something. It was like another movie, and I was like, what's going on here? Let's hurry it up. And luckily, the action started quickly.
I don't know much about Vision. Like, what's Vision's powers?
Well, I missed Age of Ultron, which apparently is when he gets turned into Vision. He was Jarvis, the computer, I think, in the first 2 Iron Man.
I have so much amnesia.
I've seen it all, and I don't even know.
I don't know either.
All I know is that he's the guy that got to marry Jennifer Connelly.
But my favorite moment...
That's all I see when I see that.
But my favorite moment in the film that gave me goosebumps, and that was like where I caught a feel, was when Black Panther just says kind of quietly like Wakanda forever, like, when he runs, like right when he's like dropped the I was like, okay, now it's gonna start, but then it never really built from there. And
they were having the exact same battle in the exact same sector of Wakanda that they did.
I know, and Black Panther was playing at the same theater still that I saw Avengers at, so it's like
very fresh in the mind.
It's almost like they had all of they had the proper topography like in the computer that they wanted to reuse and save a little money.
Yeah, it was shot and rendered at the same time.
Yeah.
What did we think of Don Cheadle?
He's looking old, man. The one thing I will point out is Don Cheadle and Robert Downey Jr. and some other actors. I hadn't seen them in a while, so seeing them, I saw at the Dolby Theater in Burbank, which is like a brighter luminescent bulb, whatever. They look old. Like Don Cheadle looked like his kidneys were failing. I was like, how old is he?
He looks skinny.
And Robert Downey Jr., I could see the shoe polish. He was dying and combing into his like hair and his face.
Maybe they don't want.
And even some people like Benedict Cumberbatch had Botox. Like Benedict Cumberbatch and Gwyneth Paltrow had the same filler in their face, and I was like, are you kidding me? Like Benedict Cumberbatch, really?
Maybe they go to the same guy.
Yeah, so that was kind of odd. Like for me, I was like, "Damn, it's been 10 years." And 10 years ago, Downey was in his 40s. I'm guessing, right?
Something like that.
So predictions for the next one. Does everyone come back to life that faded into?
Oh yeah, here's my prediction. Yeah. My prediction is Doctor Strange saw 14 million versions of how it ended, and the one version where it won was let Thanos do what he wants to do. And then when he's sitting on that mountain, right, that last shot of him sitting there doing "I did it," it's gonna like start to get in his head a little bit, and he's gonna think like, oh shit, like I fucked up, and then he's gonna like turn good and like may help them bring it back.
He's gonna turn?
I don't know, but like the whole thing is reverse psychology. If a kid wants a cookie, instead of saying no, you can't have it, you go, okay, have all the cookies, and it's like, well, no, I only want one. Well, no, you gotta eat the whole bag, and it's like, but that's gonna make me sick, So they're gonna get into his head. One Avenger is gonna get into Thanos' head in part 2 and be like, hey,
Hulk's gonna play a big role because he's struggling.
This is where me and my BFF got into a fight.
Erectile dysfunction.
This is where we got into a fight. So we leave the theater. As we're exiting the theater, the first thing out of my mouth is like, yeah, there's a lot of contrivances, especially the Hulk. Like, where it's like, oh, it's just not working because, like, that would solve too many problems if we had him work.
Yeah.
And then I start thinking, wait a second. When I saw the trailer, Hulk is running through Wakanda to, like, beat a bunch of zombies up, but in the movie, he's in the fucking suit. Like,
It
so
was
what?
always the suit.
So what the fuck? And my friend was like, dude, who cares, man? And I was like, no, I care because that's like a bait and switch. And then he was like, dude, settle down. And I was like, that's false advertising.
It was the suit.
Yeah,
in the trailer. Though.
And then he
In
goes,
the
that's
trailer.
false. I go, that's false advertising. He's like, dude, you're making my head hurt. And so by the time I got home, I found online that the Russo brothers claim that they purposely put footage in the trailer that they did not shoot because they didn't want the fanboys getting ahead of them trying to decipher shit, which I don't buy because I remember back when Robert Rodriguez did Predators in the trailer, Adrian Brody has like a million like red laser predator sights on him, and I'm thinking, oh wow, it's called Predators, like this is gonna be awesome. And then no, the movie there's just one,
right?
And there's just one laser. And you're like,
so it's
you're
trailer
like,
tomfoolery.
Yeah, you're like, why did I see 20 fucking lasers on his chest? Because I wanted to see 20 fucking
that was
Predators.
A good image.
And Robert Rodriguez goes, oh, I like tricking people. Haha, I got you.
Oh, fuck that.
And I'm just like, no. Your
wrong.
trailer to me can only show footage that I'm going to see in the actual final cut. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Like your teaser, your trailer, like you got. Like, I really believe in that. I'm a staunch believer. So yeah, my BFF and we're on the outs. Like I haven't talked to him since.
That's how I got into Roger Ebert's answers for questions for the movie Answer Man book. I wrote to him about the First Wives Club trailer and how some of the shots and jokes were different, and I was like, "What gives, Roger?" And he said, "Yeah, that's they switch it up sometimes."
Not cool. Especially when I was expecting Hulk down in Wakanda, like killing monsters, and instead he's like in a suit, which it's like I've seen Tony Stark fly in a suit, so why do I want to see your,
I also
guy
want
in
to
a
know
suit?
how much Mark Ruffalo got. I want to know how much some of these people got paid for the small amount that they actually did.
Well, that was
for
my
these
friend's
movies.
defense. My friend's defense was like, well, no, I think Mark Ruffalo probably told his agent, like, I wanted my face on this. Like, I don't want to be the Hulk for this. Like, so put me, like, make sure there's more of me in this war than the Hulk. And the agent was like, all right, Kevin Feige, like...
That could be.
I don't know.
That theory just got your buddy on a future Lodgecast. That's some good shit. Toward the end, we'll wrap this up because this hot take's cooling off a little bit. But toward the end, I was getting big Left Behind vibes when every other person
I thought
was
of Nicolas
disappearing.
Cage. Yeah, no, I thought of that. And Kirk Cameron.
If Kirk Cameron could somehow, like, if the Trump shit keeps pumping hard and we somehow get Kirk Cameron in the White House, like, I think he could get in. They could splice him into the next Avengers movie, and he could make this kind of a backdoor Left Behind reboot.
Yeah, no, they stopped with the Nick Cage one, and I want more bigger budget. There's like 6 movies, so.
Well, I think with such an evocative climax to this, it could whet people's appetite for another one.
Yes, Tribulation.
Tribulation Force Part 4.
Megadoo. I don't remember them all, but
But I got big vibes, and Willie Ames as Bible Man could show up. He could reprise that. If anybody doesn't know about that, Buddy from Charles in Charge played a superhero called Bible Man in the early 90s. You need to YouTube that immediately. The
10-year saga continues. I give it 2.5 bones.
Whoa, okay, all right.
Yeah,
That's a hot take right there.
I can't believe that in like 1998, 1999, Kevin Feige was nothing but a lowly assistant working for Lawrence Schuler Donner, who by dumb luck was making an X-Men movie. So when
You've done your research on
Avi
this guy.
Arad, or Ron Ike Perlmutter, whoever owned the Marvel, franchise, was like, who should run this? She literally said my assistant. And Kevin Feige at I want to say 27, 28 was anointed the president of film production, and he would go to these agency meetings, and they would literally laugh at him. They would say, like, this is stupid, like, nobody was going to do this.
It's a fairy tale,
and they would laugh him out of the office, and here it is 10 years later, and every studio in town has been trying to replicate their business model, and failing miserably. DC Comics, universe, whatever
Star
the fuck.
Wars
The
universe.
Universal Dark Universe.
So I give it 2 bones because
man,
it's
you guys.
just so rote and lazy, and I've just
wrote.
yeah, it's I would never see it again.
And I'm not going to
this
see it
coming.
again, no.
When I found out there was no war for real, it was like a waste of time for me. But my friend loved it, so to me, he and I were divided.
Oh my god. Well, you guys obviously only half drank the Kool-Aid not seeing the full 19 prerequisite courses for this.
That's true.
This is a 3.5 bone movie. This is exactly what it needs to be. For this type of movie, this is the finest cut of the most doted upon and massaged steak that you could ever cultivate. The runtime didn't bother me at all.
Didn't feel long. It actually played better than I think past movies.
I think they knew to lean on the Guardians of the Galaxy as the major characters to follow in this. I thought that was a great move. Overall, just a very enjoyable time, and the dark ending will make sure that the fanboys give it street cred.
Thumbs up for the dark ending.
In the annals of history.
So bleak.
So bleak. They had the courage to end it on a bleak note.
I'm sorry, Mr. Stark. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh,
it hurts.
God.
I'm
It's
cold.
great.
I'm
It's great.
cold.
It's
I'm
great. It is
going to the
good.
dark.
Bones,
good.
2.5 bones. You guys
No,
are out of your gourds.
No, I thought it had good bookends. The middle, I thought it got into the Marvel machine.
Two Bones is perfectly
machine.
delightful for some taste, a waste of time for others, usually uninspired genre films. And the reason I give it 2 is because there's no climax. It ends on a low point. It ends on Act 2. It's basically like a really long Act 1 and a really long Act 2. There's no Act 3. And granted, Empire Strikes Back had no climax, but dramatically it paid off and it worked. And in this, there was really the only thing that could have worked is if Peter Quill saw his lover get pushed off a cliff, and he didn't, so it fell flat for me.
I prefer Ragnarok. I prefer Spider-Man Homecoming.
Spider-Man Homecoming.
I haven't seen Homecoming, but I enjoyed Ragnarok a lot.
Yeah.
I would give Ragnarok a 3.
You guys need to go back to Marvel school, fill in those blanks.
I gotta see Iron Man 3.
And then once Avengers 4...
3's better than 2.
Okay.
Once Avengers 4 comes out, you need to rewatch this with all the new knowledge, and then see where you're at. Maybe it'll bump it up 1/2 bone.
See you next May for Avengers something
or other.
That's a wrap.
That's a hot take. So
take.
Go collect those Infinity Stones, and
all 6. Collect them all.
And we'll be back on the next ep. Love and light to the lodge.
Peace.